Hey guys, and how's it going? Hey, I'm going to continue on this, what do you want to call it? A trike made out of a woman's high-heeled shoe chair. Yeah, okay. We have one short video already kind of knocked out on it, and I've done a bunch of work. I'll get you caught up to speed, and we'll continue to work on it. So before, everything was just kind of like mocked up together, the front end we kind of came up with, but all that has been since finalized and welded up. I took the front forks and heated them up, separated them so that they would clear the front wheel, which you can see happening right there, and everything is tacked, and it was kind of finalized and tacked, not finished welded. I just want everything to kind of take its space. The seat has brackets going across. They are drilled and bolted. There's 4 bolts going through the bottom of the seat on a set of rails. There's one about right here and one right there. Engines have been drilled and mounted and located. Brake calipers. I made up some brake calipers. I bought a kit for like a go-kart, and of course none of this stuff fit very well. I'm gonna go grab that light. That's over there. So I had to go make up some stuff for them. They are hydraulic disc brakes. You can see the little calipers right there, and you can see the discs that are made. I had to make something up. This is a 1 1/4 inch shaft. I found some 1 1/4 inch collars, and I took them on the lathe. You can see I made a mistake on this side, but machined them down so the rotor would fit on them, and then I tacked them together so that they are, I don't know if we can spin it, nice and true. And then I made some brackets up for the calipers, which right now are just held in vice grips, but they are taking their location left and right. There's one on the other side, pretty much mimicking the same thing. Cut the axle in half, kick them out to the width that they will probably be. Welded up a bunch of the framing in the back. Some of the stuff is tacked, some of the stuff is welded. Where I'm leaving right now, where I left off right now, is we do not have a support for the high heel part of the shoe. It's sitting on a jack. So I figured maybe we'll pick the camera up and we'll go from there. We'll start continuing on, getting that set up. Those handlebars aren't going on there. They're just kind of like a placeholder. Cut all the bracket. There was a bunch of bracketry on this front tube. Cut all that stuff off, get rid of that nonsense. Added some framing underneath. You'll see there's a bridge from a bicycle frame, another piece of a bicycle frame going back. Take some of the, one piece of metal going all the way across isn't very supportive, so there's some other stuff to help take some of the bounce out of it. We may have to add some to it, I'm not sure, but for now we have something there. So that's where we are. Okay, let's try to come up with something for that high heel support. I grabbed from the house a box of horseshoes. What else would you use, right? Let's go see if we can find one that kind of fits the base of the shoe there, and maybe we can kind of build off of that. So we can take one, we'll put it around the base of it, and we'll come up to this frame and maybe that frame and have it be some support. Let's go digging. Let's go grab just a generic. Yeah, let's go grab something that we think is going to be the. We could probably even just use the nails and nail it, because that's wood on the bottom there. Let's grab a couple different sizes. Right. I'm thinking, what if we run it this way? Use those 2 little keepers to help hold it. We can go take this on a wire wheel. We'll clean some of the crap off of it. See how that kind of snugs up underneath. Wonder if we could take a horseshoe coming this way and this way, or is that overkill? Got cleaned up pretty good. Let's get these little tabs that kind of stand up a little more. Could probably even, so I think the shoe goes wider as it gets up, and we could tap them back against it. Maybe we'll take the shoe off. Come on. That looks pretty good. We'll take the shoe, the big shoe, not this one, off. We'll hold this up against it. Maybe we'll get like a couple of drywall screws or something to hold it in place, and we'll set it back on. I don't know if we can get some through there. I wonder if that's a marking. Like, what's that? It's like a weird star. Does that mean like the style of the shoe, or who did it? Or is it just a mistake on there? Yeah, I'm looking at it. I'm going to have to go to a smaller one. Let's go see. Maybe not. Let's go get these little things out of here. They just stuck in there. Maybe we'll go a little bit. All right. It's actually not bad if I let it choke up like that. This should be all wood in here. Let's go try it for now. If we feel like we want to change it out, we can. Let me go see if we can get a couple drywall screws that'll fit. We'll probably just open them up, right? With a drill. Hold that in place. Yeah, let's go see if we can get a couple of these through it. Maybe probably like lean in, maybe. I don't know where the wood starts, you know. Let's try one. Leave that one loose. Look straight. Looks a little this way. Let's go plop it up there and see how it lines up the stuff. My guess is we can kind of weld maybe to this area, you know, further away from it. Or plop the seat on and give you a better idea what's underneath it. So it's just a couple of bike frames that I cut up. Like I said, I think I did the first one first to try to stiffen up the box over here. Then added the second one kind of coming across. And we'll see how much bounces out of it. I may go bridge the rest of it to try to give it a little bit more strength here. But we'll see what we get as a result before I start doing that. I'm gonna go put that seat back on there and see what we can do to bridge the gap going to it to support it. So I bolted those four up tight so the seat's kind of fixed, and then ran the little jack right to where it naturally wants to sit. I'm thinking maybe what we can do, we'll take another horseshoe, we'll come down on an angle like that, and maybe we'll take, there's another one down there. We do the reverse on the lower part of the frame. I'm not sure. Let's just do the top one for now. It'll kind of lock that location, and then as we build other stuff, maybe we can kind of incorporate it to brace it up a little bit stiffer. Like we probably come down to here and grab something. But as we put more stuff on the exhaust, maybe we'll find an area that we can kind of tie brackets and that together. I kind of wanted to run a bar. At least maybe we can run a bar across these two, because they're like two fingers sticking out this way. They're a little wiggly. And the same on this side, we could probably jump together, but the sprocket's going to be an issue, unless we jump a bridge kind of going across to kind of stiffen up the ass end of it. Anyway, let's get that cleaned up and tacked into place, and we'll worry about the rest as we get there. Agree? No? Too bad. It should be sturdy enough to get that out of the way. Oh, the light's gonna get you. Enough to support, you can see it twisting and how much twist it's got in it. I also think this hardware between here and here is loose, but unfortunately they screwed it in from this side, which is kind of wacky. Oh well. Let's look into, let's grab that light, beefing up that rear frame rails. Gonna stiffen that up. What our best bet is. Yeah, I'd like to tie these two together, but we need access because this bracket's gonna get welded on, and then we have to be able to get, if we want to bolt the calipers, we got to be able to get in there to unbolt them What if we can come underneath? Maybe we'll put a bar under it. Let me do the same on this side. I don't think it's going to get in the way of anything. That'll give us a little bit more room to kind of get in here and work with the caliper. I don't know. Let's go see if we can find something. I don't know if I have any more of this 1-inch tubing. Let's go lay a piece of something in here and see where it kind of fits. Again, this stuff is just sitting here, but essentially this has to be in the center of the axle, you know, as far as front and back. We can grind this back a little bit though if we have to. Let's go look for some metal. Go over by the scrap bin. I see a little piece. Let's go grab that. I think that's kind of what we made it out of. I don't know if there's any more in here. I might have used it all up, making what we already made. Let's go check out the metal wall. I think I see a nice piece of it right there. While we're on the hunt, take some smaller stuff. Let's go grab a piece of that. Here's anything else that comes to mind. This might be aluminum. Yeah, it feels like it. That's solid. I don't think we have to go that crazy. All right, let's go work with that for now. Oh, what's that right there? More of the same. I like finding little bits like that. That way you're not cutting up a full length. You know, you get to use up some of the scrap. Well, the problem is you're going to hit that caliper no matter what. You know, this is what happens when. At least this is just sitting here. It's not welded on. But as you assemble things and you don't have everything in play ahead of time. What if we nothing saying the caliper has to be flat, right? Can we just unclamp it and tilt it backward? I don't think that would hurt us, right? I mean, it doesn't look. Can we just take this? Because we have to say center over the axle, the caliper part of it. So can we clamp it? Those bigger vice grips. Let's make some room. Excuse me. Yeah, I moved it back a little. It's still centered over the caliper. I think that'll give us enough room. As long as I guess we can get, you know, the bolting on each side of it out. We had need to take the caliper off. Where's the bleeders? I think they're going to be open. So maybe we'll go with that. We'll just kind of take I'll cut one a little bit longer and we'll box in the back half of that. You agree? Oh well, I'm doing it anyway. I got both of them zapped in there, probably about 1 inch weld in each one. At some point we're going to take it all apart. At some point we got to take it all apart, finish all the welding and you know, clean everything up. But right now I'm trying to give everything its home where it goes. And we also kind of beef stuff. I don't want to do too much welding with the seat on there. I'm going to set it on fire. So 2 more things I want to kind of get a rough idea is going to be handlebars, what we're going to do with those, and foot pegs. So foot pegs, I want to try to use these. I bought them on eBay. They are the little shoe things and you go to a shoe store. And these are made for kids, but I think they're probably scale-wise, they might be a little bit better size for what we're doing. I'm guessing we're going to have to bolt to them and through them, but I don't know what we want to use. I guess we find a position of where we want them first and maybe figure out how to come off of that. I wonder if we could take those those handlebars right there. If we were to split them in half, would that give us, can we use them whole? We'll leave it together. Let's try to find out where the foot pegs want to rest. I'm guessing it's probably going to be right about here. I'll get my ass up there and give herself an idea. I think what we can use to mock it up. Use that jack, kind of work it up and down and maybe something like that. And we can move it around. See how gracefully I can get up there. That's not bad for first shot. I don't know what we got for turning. That shouldn't really matter. I don't think that wheel's going to swing in our direction. Let's unbolt these handlebars and see if we could possibly work maybe from this bracket or something. We'll come across to them. Yes? No? No? I hear no. Too bad. You don't like it? We just change it, right? That might even, as it kicks it in a little, we could probably that'll be the middle. I wonder if I have another one of these nets. But we could use it, we could make it adjustable. We could do, if we can go with another setup of this, right? And take the steel part and weld it coming off of here. We can make it kind of adjustable how we want to go set it up. Let's go try to figure out how we want to make them go on the end of that. This is a separate piece in here. Yeah, this slides, right? Or it's supposed to. No, slides out. Yeah. I don't think so. If we leave that in the in position, I wonder if we could even just take. I don't know if we have any tiny U-bolts that are that size, right? We could probably crush this. I kind of want to leave the fact that we can rotate it on it though. The fact that we can do this. Let's work on getting the handlebar tacked to that first with another neck. I'm gonna go over in the stash. I think I have another one of these. I grabbed another set we gotta put together. I'm kind of thinking, I don't know, something like, let's get it up out of the way. To try to get us, where our foot was, which is right there. And I'm thinking maybe I was gonna weld this bracket to right here. What if we were to open these two holes up right now and see if we can take those and bolt them right through? I know it's going to be a little wider, it's going to set out a little further, but that actually might be better for kind of stability. And let's go try that. This is already here. If not, we'll work with this bracket. I kind of want to get it, I wanted to shorten it up anyway a little bit. See how that does. Get them off. So we want that to fit in there. And it's just a drill already in the drill. A bit in the drill. See if that gets us closer to it anyway. And I think one more size. The other one. Well, up 2 sizes. Come on. Like when the battery's dead and you keep trying to keep going because you're too lazy to change it. Is that enough? Oh yeah. Let's go bolt that up. I'm looking at decently. We may have to heat them up and kind of take some of the twist out of them a little bit. Where are the foot things on the other side? Yeah. So we have to figure out how to get, because we don't want it at an angle outward. We want it Something like that, right there, right? And have a, you know what we could actually just do? This is weld the plate right on this that's flat, and then bolt through it. I was thinking we kind of wanted the capacity to move them around a little bit, but maybe not. Maybe we'll just kind of go with, you know, something like that. And we make a metal plate that, I don't know, maybe fits. Get off there. I don't know if we want to make one that fits in just this square. You know? Would that be strong enough if we were to just like drill 4 holes through a plate that's the size of that? And it'll be adjustable. We flip it over, they'll be adjustable out, right? if we go that way. I'm starting to think that's maybe the way to go. What holds that from falling out all the way? Probably like a drawer slide or something, right? Like a little metal clip that just locks itself. If we were to leave it in the extended position, does that help us at all? I like it better that way though. It keeps, and we could always heat, like I said, we could always heat these bars up and move them around. At least we have the swing that we want. Or, that's be kind of tight. If we were to make a metal plate like we talked about, right? The square plate, but then have the plate have little U-clamps that we could bolt to it, or even go the other way. Could we take, where's the ones that come with it? These guys. They should be the right diameter, right? Could we work with those on a metal plate? I'm going to do some figuring. You can go do some figuring too. We'll meet back here and we'll find out what we came up with. So I'm kind of liking that layout. Plus, it's, you know, it's labeled correctly. Your left heel's on the left side, the right's on the right. And if you do it right, it seems like your feet are encapsulated by the little brackets. Yeah, plus, you can slide them around a little bit, but once we fix it, you know, the vice grips are in the way. But I actually feel that feels pretty good. I like them. It feels more comfortable having them kicked out a little. I don't know about the aesthetics of it. I don't think it hurts anything, right? I mean, maybe it looked a little bit better being squared off, but we'll go with that. So I'm going to go work with, like I said, I'm going to make a plate for the back of each one of them that we can kind of drill through, so it's not very invasive in the face of it. And then we could weld it to the handlebars. And if we don't like it later on, we could always heat the handlebars up and tweak them a little. Like so, we can rotate them a lot. And if we don't like, you know, the angles and whatnot, we could probably heat the pipes up and tweak them. Plus, it's fairly strong. You know, that's a pretty beefy setup, I think. All right. I'm gonna go do that. See, it's not too bad neither. Got to figure out a way to tighten up that those two sections. You can hear that is the upper and the lower section kind of squeaking against each other. Here's what we went with. I took 5x5 metal plates I cut out, and then I got 2 in the slots. We don't have to drill too many holes, and then this, because the handlebars can be going up on an angle, should get us out of the way of where we kind of need it to go seat. That's a kind of a rough image of where it is. So let's go scuff this up, and we should be able to get a couple of tacks on it. Plus, again, we'll tack it, and then we could also take it apart later on. And we get a better weld, you know, because the pipe's going to be right there. We get a better weld on the edges of it. But let's go preliminarily hook them up and give us a rough estimate of where it goes. I'm going to go take a flapper disc to the handlebars too to get some of the chrome off, so we can get a little bit better tack on it. And same with these. Clean them up. I just have them tacked on the upper corner so we can tweak them a bunch of different ways. Let's go see how close we are to what we want. Well, they're both leaning. So that one's leaning out, this one's leaning. It's gotta go like that, right? What if I can just kind of tweak it with my foot? I want it to break off, it's close to it. It feels pretty much the same on both. Let's go pull away. Seems like that one's kind of kicked in this way a little bit too. I don't know. Is it not against the handlebars? It is. I could probably use the measurements to see. I like how that one's set up. I'm going to do my best to get one more tack on that one, trying to match what that one is. They're close. Something's just off. Oh, maybe it's got to get leaned. It's got to get leaned back a little. It's ready to break off. It's going to be just a hair like that. You got a tack on both of them. Another tack. So they're a little bit more stable now where they want to go be. I'd like to try to take, maybe, I don't know about backing it up. I'd like to swing the front end from side to side, just see where that wheel kind of travels. I think it's just going to, I just know when it goes to a real far flop, how close does it get? You know, this is going to start to approach here, but I don't think we're going to allow it to go too much. What if we could suspend it from the ceiling? Yeah, we got to be able to clear that. Let me go work on it. Let me see if we can kind of, maybe we'll just back it up a little bit and clear the bench off. Trying to do a little bit of cleaning anyway, right? Get some of the tools put away, and we'll kick it back. See what we got. Let's set it on the ground. We're going to be our best bet. Kind of roll it back a little. I think we're good. Sometimes it gives you a better view too of what you're working on to put things in perspective. Yeah, I don't have enough room to roll it all the way back. Let's go. I'll get the back tires like right here. Actually, I got a couple of logs we can leave it up in the air. See that? Oh, you suck. Fine. And definitely wants to correct this out quite well, which is what I wanted. I like it. Nothing standing out saying you're an idiot and you screwed it up yet. Yeah. Give it time. What do we got for height underneath? I wonder if we leave it, maybe we'll leave it like it is and we'll start picking away at the handlebars. I think as far as our, yeah, I don't see that being an issue at all. You're not going to turn much more than that, right? Go pick away handlebars. Let's go try to figure out what we want for them. I was thinking I'd like to come I want to do some kind of like maybe a little bit of a weirder pattern instead of like a regular handlebar. I was kind of thinking maybe we go with something that like what was on it. We cut the ends off and maybe go for like the old 10-speed style, little ram's horns or something on the edges. I'm not sure how that's going to look, but that's the whole idea, trying to figure it out and have fun, right? So let me go find another set of regular handlebars and we'll bolt them up to it, and then we'll start. I should be a 10-speed handlebars here. If not, at the house I have some crappy ones, or whatever else we find. Kind of eyeballing the back side of it, and you know, looking over the whole thing, make sure everything looks pretty straight, which it does. But I think what we're going to have a problem is these sections are going to want to twist, especially this one. This one's kind of out there a little bit more on its own. It does have one solid bar going across the front, but I think we're going to need to go make like a hoop that goes from here to that side, so we bridge all the way across, and then we're going to have to come up from here to help support it. I think it's going to need a little bit more, actually, just, I don't know if it's me right now, it kind of looks like it's already doing a little bit of a split on it. Hard to say. I know the axle was bent a little bit, so as soon as I cut it, even when it was up in the air, this has a bit of a wobble. So this is the end right here is a little deceiving. You rotate it, it'll point in a slightly different direction. Yeah, definitely gonna need a little bit more there, or under, or both. What do you say? We go handlebar shopping with that. I think we got a couple of, hopefully you had their steel, you know what I mean? You got one set there, you got a pair here. See if we have any more ratty ones we can kind of steal them off of. I think they're gonna be it. But that's all we need. Let's get to getting. Back, there was a time when these bikes were worth a lot of money. Not so much anymore. I'll try unbolting it. I'm not sure if this is going to work for us, so if not, we'll resort to power tools. Well, I say we just cut this one here and here for now. We'll just split it and see what we like. You know, kind of move them around up there and take the sections. Let's see if we can come up with a, you know, ram's horn. I'm looking at this setup. I don't really like where it's coming out of the triple trees. I would kind of like to think maybe we can unbolt this and drill it maybe here and here and take this assembly, put it more over the center of this. It just looks too spindly the way it is, but let's just kind of eyeball handlebar setups and see if we can come up a little something to get them going the same way at least, right? I kind of like maybe something like that. Really? I'm going to mess around a little bit, see what we can come up with. Again, then it's also going to be, I wish I can come off more wider and shallower. Like we can notch them any way we want, but I think it's going to be just a bunch of that, right? We just keep playing with them until we find out something we like. I may go take this off and go cut this crap off of here and see if we can go mount these two right here down lower and work from that. This just turns me off right away. I don't know how to explain it. Just I don't like the beefiness of it, and then it goes to very skinny right here, and then back to a set of handlebars. It just, I don't know. It doesn't seem like it matches up very well. So let's go at least fix that. We'll leave this assembly here for now in case you want to go use it. And when we're done though, we can go cut it off because there's threads that start down here, but we could snub that. But for now, I'd rather leave it in place. I think probably right where we cut those posts off, maybe something like that. Just know enough we can get the hardware underneath it bolted up. You know, I'll spread it apart a little further than it was too. I'm thinking something like that. Let me go find center line and we'll mark it and drill some holes, bolt them up. And bored out a couple of holes. I'm gonna say something like that. I kind of like that better. Oh yeah, plus you're bolting the handlebars to something a little bit more positive. I don't know if you get a little bit more, you know, the handlebar motion is gonna go like this instead of centered over the axis, but how much do you really turn it? We plan on just going straight. All right, so let's go get a set of handlebars bolted back on that, and maybe we'll start doing some cutting. And I should probably try and find some. I'm gonna go look, see if I can find a piece of metal that you could possibly use as a plug to put two sections together. So in the pile, this is like a frame from a go-kart of some sort. It's black framing going around, and I think that'll just make it, yeah. So you can cut this up to be our sleeves in between the pieces, so it has a little bit of support for it. So that's how they normally are. I'm thinking maybe we cut it. Can we go something like that? It will cut the. Yeah, let's go cut dead center of these out. Maybe we could turn them around so they're out wider, what I looked for, you know, instead of, I just don't like that skinny look to it. That's to kind of play around a little bit. I'm kind of thinking, I want to go with, let me see if I can sit on it and kind of, I was going to go with, how did I have it? These were facing inward. Yeah, there we go. Like that. Like that. So I'm thinking cutting them and a couple like ram's horns kind of coming up. I like that. I figure we'll cut maybe a little tall on each one of them. We can always shrink it down. We'll put that piece of stud in between it, but we can kind of curve and move them around and see how we like it. And put a tack in it and just kind of leave it like that for now. I'm thinking something like this. I kind of like this. Yeah, just a little different than what you normally see. Little. Let me go chop these up and cut the ends off of these. We'll get some stubs to fit down in between. We'll kind of tweak a little bit, maybe just put a tack on it. And as we build the rest of the stuff, we'll just see if it kind of continues to go with what we like. And if not, we can cut them apart and do whatever else we want. Yes, we can. I cut them up and I made a couple of plugs. It should just be kind of close. And how did we have it? Was it like that? I figured then we can kind of sneak up on it from there, right? You guys are sitting on the lift, so you're a little wobbly. Some of you are a little wobbly anyway. So you can go play around. that where we had? No, they're facing in, weren't they? I think we got them on the wrong sides. Like that? I can go screw around all I want, try to come up with a solution that I like. I think we had them the other way though. Let's see, it was like that. Is that right? Is it the same thing? I don't think so. You had it like that. Maybe? Yeah. That's pretty tall, huh? I'm gonna try trimming them down a little bit, tighten them up, and try to come up with something and see how I like, what I like. Go from there. That's, we need a ram's head for the center of it. Alright. Whoops. I say we give them a little love zap. Just to kind of hold their position. We got to cut it apart again later anyway, but just so we kind of keep an idea. Because we have to drill some holes on that plug that's in there and weld them on that once we finalize it. But for now, we're just going to throw some tacks on it. I'm going to go get these two where I want them, do the same with those. There we go. They're off a little bit, but that's okay. We're still going to take them apart and adjust them, but I kind of like that setup. I think on the bottom, we're going to black a lot of stuff out, so you're not going to see the bar going around. On the handlebars, we just leave the foot rest their normal color. And probably on the handlebars too, we're probably just going to black all that stuff out. Maybe we'll just leave like, you know, these hand grips. It's pretty much the same position like on a regular handlebar. Like if you were just to put regular handlebars on it, you come up, it's actually the same place where your hands would rest. You know, if the handlebars say like this right up here, right? That's pretty much like a regular handlebar would be. I just moved it down here and we got a built-in wrist protector. I may too even try taking them off. Maybe we'll spin them around where the horns face upward, but we'll see. For now, I kind of like it like this. Yeah, so we cut that off. I don't know if we're going to be able to get the throttle up here. I'd like to, and the brake is hydraulic. I don't know, maybe if we can run a regular brake on a cable down, and we can mount the lever down below. We could run the lever by cable, and then the hydraulics go back to the two calipers. Kind of what I'm thinking. And again, we'll get like fancy hand grips, or you know, we'll make something up for those on each side of that. Make it look. Can we do tassels on the inside? It might be in the way. I got the a box of leather shoelaces. Kind of thing that you walk away, the next day you come back and you kind of stare at it a little bit and you see different things. And it's a hard project to kind of rush and just kind of knock out. Again, it's I'm kind of half wanting to make videos on it because I like the fact that if you take your time and you go to a yard sale or swap meet, you see something, you're like, I can go use that for the gas tank, or you know, stuff that pops up gives you an idea, that would be perfect for the a fender or whatever. I like to take the time and go do that instead of trying to go knock it out all in one time. But so be it. I mean, we're getting there. Headlight, I don't know if we want to go with like a light maybe down in this area, kind of filling in some of this space a little bit, or if we put it out in front of it or up over the front tire kind of thing. Just to try to give a little bit more, like I said, I like the fact that this is kind of beefed up now more here. I didn't like that little pencil neck looking geeky thing that was on there. So if we can kind of continue and give a little bit more mass right here, and you know, maybe something fender wise to kind of take up a little bit of space inside there. We got to do a little bit more suspension work. Run a bar from that bar to the other bar that's underneath it and get a little bit more of the spring out of it. And then in the back, I think what we're going to do is, I have a length of this 1x. I think we're going to run one right about there, just enough to clear that sprocket. And we'll come down here, those 4 places, and we'll connect into that. That should square up the back side of it. We still may do something over the top, but for now I'm going to run that bar crate straight across the bottom. And I have an idea for once we do that, we'll do a couple of little wheelie bars. I'll show you what I got for that. Wheelie pads. There's a fan, it's gonna be noisy, but so I figured we could use these. These are little jigs that you use for shoes to when they make shoes, and they got metal underneath them. So maybe we could take 2 of those, left and a right, and we'll make those. You do a wheelie and it slides on those. Again, that's just my thought right now. I got 2 long. I don't know where they ended up. 2 long boot. They're in the pile here somewhere. Here's the short ones. The long ones of these, about 14 inches long. I use those for chain guards. I don't know where they ended up. They're somewhere. So we're going to put those over the top for the chain guards. On top of these, we'll cover that. We still have to make the exhaust system coming out of it yet. I'm going to try and order maybe some motorcycle 2-stroke carburetors. They have a little bit more adjustment for them for the air fuel mix. These will work, but these carbs were meant to just run at 1 RPM. They were not set up to do an idle, so to speak, and I'm going to need that. So I may try. These may work, I don't know, but there's just no air fuel mix for the idle speed, which can be a little hard to tweak in. So I'm going to try and measure something up, see if we can order a couple of, cheap like dirt bike 125 carburetors. These are 7 horse apiece. I'll measure the bores to see what I can come up with for that. If not, we'll go with those. And fenders, I had the originally the shoe shine boxes, and they're just too square looking for my taste. I want something maybe a little bit more curvy, because everything else is kind of curvy on it, and then those boxy things just aren't doing it. So I'm going to come up with something else. I have those, shoe shine boxes. So we'll see. And nothing says we have to be shoe related, but one of my thoughts was snowshoes. And snowshoes have kind of like a tennis racket, for those who don't know. And I may go take a snowshoe, cut it in half. You'll have the hoop. I'll do a hoop on the inside and the outside, like that, of the snowshoe. Maybe that have the tails come forward or whatever, like little stems that come off of them. And I have a ton of the shoelaces, leather shoelaces. Maybe we can tie it like you tie in a boot, going across for the fenders on both sides. And on the front, I'm not sure. Maybe the same. A bigger set or something along that. I'm just for now, I'm kind of keeping things in mind, like anything kind of shoe related. It doesn't have to be, can be ski boots. It could, broaden the horizon of just like regular shoes, just other stuff that along those lines that I can kind of find. I'll throw and add in there. And if not, I don't want to put it on there just for the sake of, because it goes with a shoe to put it on there. I still want it to look halfway decent. So if we have to go with a regular fender, make our own that looks something decent, I will. But again, it's all part of the process of putting the stuff together and trying to figure out what we want. I want to do that rim. I like the color of that rim. I think I want to do the same in the back. And again, it also picks up off the color of the chair. Maybe do a little, do the rims in the mustard yellow kind of thing, and then the lug nuts in the center hubs black, and then the tires will be black. Those aren't mine. I gotta get another set. Those are just mock-up for now. I think that's all I got for today, guys. I'd like to go a little bit further, but I got a big weekend coming along, so I have to go get stuff ready for that weekend. So that's it. That's all I got. I was really hoping to try to get it to at least putter around, but it's just not going to happen. So, exhaust too. I want to come up with. I was thinking aluminum. I know I'm going to keep on going. I'm ready to sign off, and then I start going again, right? I did once before. Hold on one sec. Well, last phone call was a good phone call. Got some good news. I'm happy for that. Anyway, I brought it outside to kind of like be able to see it a little bit better. It rolls real easy, turns real easy, which is nice. A little low on the clearance side of things with the coming out of the garage door, the little bar in the center kind of rubbed, but I'm fine with that. It is what it is. I may take and maybe have a little bit of build ahead of time, like when I go to do the next video, I'll build on it a little bit more and we'll kind of go back and do a couple of other things, and so it's not spread out so far. I must say the other video that I put up on it was my worst performing video in probably the last 10 years. So I got to be careful of that because you know, there's a fine line between staying in the theme of things and not staying in the theme of things. It looks pretty good. I like it. I like the way the pieces are starting to flow together, and hopefully kind of continues that same way we get the rest of it knocked out. All right, guys, with that, I want to thank you all. Show you for rolling. Stay. Yeah, everything's loose too. There's no keys or nothing in the wheels. Put it in the pothole. Trying to get, so I have a thumbnail shot with the white on the garage door there. Wish that was colored in a little bit, probably show up better. All right, guys, with that, I'm having fun. Hope you're having a little bit of fun hanging out with me, kind of, you know, going along with the process and coming up with your own opinions. With that, I'll see you later.